What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. MLB video, but this is a little bit different. So we did this with Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, but we are going to hopefully start a series of Sunday Night Baseball. So we're going to look at the game. Obviously, we have one game to look at. We've got the pitchers, we've got the bats, we've got the bullpen stats that we can look at. We're going to do everything. And then at the end of this video, we are going to end up building you a lineup on DraftKings, maybe a couple lineups on DraftKings and a couple lineups on FanDuel, just like we used to. We're still going to use Outlier, so if you've never used Outlier before, it is a fantastic tool that I highly suggest you use. It breaks everything down from the money lines to the player props that we can look at to everything in between. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to break down this Sunday Night Baseball game. Hopefully, this video finds you. If you found it late, maybe you weren't able to maybe get these lineups in or use this information, hit the bell notification so you guys know when these videos go live. So my plan would be to get it out on probably Saturday nights. But SaberSim, which is what we're going to use, it didn't have the stats, so it didn't have the implied team totals, so it wouldn't build the lineups that we kind of wanted to look at. So maybe this will just be a Sunday morning thing to go along with the main video. But I'm trying to bring you as much information as possible. So if you want to do that, we will have a giveaway in this video as well. So just like our other videos, anytime we do Sunday Night Baseball video, it's going to be the same thing. If you like the video, you are a subscriber to this channel, and you leave a comment on the video, and this video gets at least 50 likes, you will have a shot at a free week of FTA+. 100 likes on this video, a shot at a free month. 150, a free year. 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a lifetime pass. Now, we still have 8 coupon codes left for a yearly pass. Instead of $199, you can get it for $99. The next 8 people, that is it. So if you are interested, I do have 4 people that have not responded yet. Or replied back, I should say. So if you guys are interested, definitely check it out. So just kind of looking at this game, and we can kind of see that the Dodgers have a 5.6 implied team total. The Atlanta Braves have a 4.4, and you can see this here. So money line is 135. You've got the odds here actually are pretty good for Atlanta, plus 1.5, so they think it might be a little bit close. The over-under right now is 9.5, which I could definitely see that with the 2 pitchers that are going, and we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about the stats of the teams that strike out. We're going to look at everything there. So if you guys are ready to go, we can look at these 2 teams. We can look at these pitchers. We can see whom may be the places we want to go. And do not forget, we are going to build some lineups at the end of this video as well. If there are certain things you do want to see in this video, let me know, and I can improve on that week on week on week. So between the 2 teams, we've got Dustin May going up against Bryce Elder. Dustin May, 35 plate appearances. He's held the Braves to a 138 batting average and a 40K percentage, 17-point walk percentage. So his walks are up there a little bit. Bryce Elder, on the other hand, 69 plate appearances, 21.7K percentage, 13% walk rate, 267 batting average against them. So if we look at those 2 numbers, we see Dustin May comes in with a 3.95 ERA, 1-1 record, 22 strikeouts. So not too bad. He's had 5 starts under his belt. It's kind of mixed results here, though. Not very good against Miami. Gave up 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. The strikeouts were kind of low in a couple of his games. Bad game against the Cubs. A lot of people are having bad games against the Cubs. Colorado, a fantastic game you are supposed to, because Colorado's the team that strikes out the most. Then you got Washington, not a really good game. And then he did face Atlanta back on April 1st, a month ago, 20.9 to make his debut back from the IL. 5 innings, 6 strikeouts. Now, I will tell you, the Braves were playing very bad baseball then. They've come on a little bit better since then. So do not be lured into that and feel like that's a safe bet to go with right off the bat. So we look at Bryce Elder, 5.33 ERA. It is up there, 1-1 record, 16 strikeouts. 16 strikeouts in 5 starts is not ideal. He did face the Dodgers. 1 game, only lasted 4 innings, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 6.75 ERA. Not ideal. The game he pitched in that game, the game after the game that Dustin May pitched in. So you look at that, and obviously the pitching, for the majority of it, when you're building your single game lineup, you're gonna have to get into a pitcher most likely in those games. So that's the only thing that we look at. Like, you always have to have some sort of pitcher somewhere. Now, if I were to take a pitcher in this one, it's most likely going to be Dustin May. But if you want to get creative, if you make like 20 plus lineups in a single game like this, Bryce Elder's probably got to be in at least one of them. So let's just say both of the pitchers don't make it past the fourth inning. We look at their bullpens. So bullpens, and we have this right here. So if you want to go to MLB and you scroll down to MLB team bullpen stats, that is right there. So you can check that out. But looking at this, looking at the two teams, we've got the Dodgers bullpen is 3.59 ERA. They've given up 16 home runs. And then you look at the Braves. So the Braves bullpen comes in 3.94 ERA, giving up 13 home runs. So we see that bullpens have been decent, but they're kind of collectively overall, their ERAs are high. Like compared to like San Diego has a 1.79 bullpen ERA, San Francisco 2.38, Detroit 2.56, Houston 2.74, Tampa Bay 2.83, and the Yankees 2.99. It is up there. It is a full point. So if we look at this, it just depends. Obviously, when you look at the bats, and the lineups haven't come out yet, maybe, or depending on when you watch this video, maybe the lineups have come out. But let's dig into some numbers. So I want to look at BVP. I want to look at batter versus pitcher. I want to look at the batter splits as well. So against Bryce Elder in their career, basically 1 to 2 starts is the equivalent. We have a couple of home runs. Mookie Betts has a home run. Max Muncy has a home run. Michael Conforto has a home run. Andy Pajes has a home run. And Shohei Ohtani has a home run against Bryce Elder. You look against right-handed pitching this year, and they do hit righties better. Mookie Betts this year's batting 291 with 4 bombs. You got Freddie Freeman batting 400 with 6 bombs. Had a home run in Saturday's game. Kike Hernandez, if he gets the start, he's only batting 220, but he bats better against righties, and he's got 3 bombs this year against them. Max Muncy has struggled this year. He's only batting 217 against righties, but he hits righties better. He's got a home run. Rojas could be a cheaper option, 310 batting average, no home runs. Conforto batting 133 but has a couple of bombs. You got Teoscar Hernandez batting 247. He does hit lefties better, and we know that. Still has 4 home runs against right-handed pitching. Pajes has 4 home runs against right-handed pitching this year, batting 286. Chris Taylor does a little bit better, but I don't know if he'll start. And then you got Ohtani batting 293 with 7 bombs against right-handed pitching. I don't think it's would be a under-owned thing to have Dodgers bats. But let's look at Atlanta now. Atlanta against Dustin May. No one has a hit except for Marcell Ozuna. Okay? He's 2 for 4 with a home run. That is it against this current team. You look at right-handed pitching. This year against righties, Baldwin, 293 batting average, 2 home runs. Sean Murphy, 241, 5 home runs. Depends on who's going to start catching today. Ozuna this year batting 276 with 5 bombs. Albies batting 245 with 5 bombs. Bring it down a little bit. Matt Olson does struggle. For some reason, he's hitting lefties this year better than righties, batting 219 with 5 bombs. Austin Riley, he is batting 278, and we looked at it in yesterday's video. The league average right now is 243 batting average. So looking at Austin Riley, he's still batting 30 points higher than the league average, 278. He does hit lefties better this year. He's got 4 bombs against righties. Michael Harris batting 235 with 2 bombs. You got Alex Verdugo leading off, 327 batting average. No home runs, but when he leads off, he gets a minimum of 4 at-bats, so we love that. And then you got Eli White, 333 batting average, 2 bombs. I don't know if Eli White will start, but those are some of the plays that you're looking at. Now, overall, bullpen-wise, it's okay. If you want to look at how the teams do strikeout-wise, like if you wanted to take your starting pitcher. So if you were looking at the Atlanta Braves, they are striking out 8.56 times per game this year. They have struck out an average of 9 times over their last 3, 9 times on Saturday. And then when the Braves play at home, they actually are better at home, 7.85 strikeouts per game at home as opposed to 9.05 on the road. So they don't strike out as much at home, but they did strike out 9 times on Saturday. And that's obviously bullpen coming in and stuff. It's not just the starter. But then you look at the Dodgers. So the Dodgers come in 8.27 strikeouts per game. They're averaging 10 strikeouts a game over their last 3. They had 12 strikeouts on Saturday. 7.28 at home, but on the road, they're actually striking out 9.47. So that is what I'll tell you. If you play a single game, most likely you want to do multiple different lineups. I think you want to get both pitchers in there when you build your lineups. So what I would do is, so we have simulations. We have a bunch of stuff under here. We have all the games that are simmed. We've got everything else for you there. But if we were looking just right off the bat to break this game down. I would come in here, and you got to put a little bit of your – so what we do normally is for the main slate, we take our projections, we upload them into SaberSim, so the projections are different and the ownership's a little bit different as well. So that's how we build out there for you guys. But what I'm looking at is Dustin May is at the top right now at 17.7. Now, while that's ideal, he is very expensive as your captain spot on DraftKings. So we can look at that. Let's get rid of everything else. So we'll look at that, and I like to bump it up a little bit just because we know that the Braves are okay. But I want to look down here at Bryce Elder. He's at 13. I want to put him at 15 just because the Dodgers have been striking out. So that's ideal a little bit. But then you do look at like Shohei Ohtani makes a ton of sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video while I build out 5,000 lineups. And then we'll kind of mix and match some stuff. So before we build them out, we're going to like do a little bit of correlation. Or let's take correlation out. Let's run Contest Simulator during the time. So I'm going to pause this video because I don't know how long it's going to take to run. And then when it is done, I will unpause it and we will move from there. Okay, so just looking the initial runnings, it only showed 20 lineups. So this is kind of what SaberSim does. You can look at it. It's got Bryce Elder at the top because, again, it right here, it is trying to give you the best kind of simulation where everyone and their mom is going to be on the Dodgers as a stack. So the first obvious ones show up as it being a Braves type stack where it has both pitchers in there. It's got Bryce Elder as your captain. It's got Austin Riley, Eli White, Verdugo, and Nick Allen all in there. A lot of plays that not a ton of people will be on. You've got your leadoff hitter and your second hitter, and then you've got your 8-9 hitters for the top lineup. So what I'm going to – and you come down, it's kind of the same thing. They've now subbed in Kirby Yates because, again, you can do bullpen arms and stuff like that on DraftKings. So if you think, Dustin May is not going to go deep into games and so on and so forth, you can build lineups like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this lineup here from 20 to 5,000 and let it work its magic. And then we're going to input that in there. We're going to see what kind of lineups it likes. So this is on DraftKings. And then after we build your DraftKings one, I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to do the same thing with FanDuel for you. So doing 5,000, just looking at the captain, it's got 31 different ones. So Bryce Elder at the top, and it's got the same lineups there if you want to go in that direction. If you want to look at what kind of a lineup would be with like Ohtani, he's a little bit cheaper than your pitchers, at least than Dustin May. So you put Ohtani in there. You got Bryce Elder, Dylan Lee. So they're thinking maybe the Braves bullpen comes in. And this one's very bullpen heavy. It's got Dylan Lee and Evan. Is it Evan Phillips? Dylan Lee and Evan Phillips coming in. Like, that's not one that I would like. Coming in here, I mean, that's actually pretty good. It's got the only Dodger on there as Ohtani. You got Matt Olson, Eli White, Bryce Elder, Michael Harris, and then Verdugo, which I kind of like that because you want to still get Ohtani in there. He's in a great matchup. But you got like the rest of our actual starters that are in there. So that's one that I don't mind whatsoever. So I think that's one I'm going to put in real quick. So if we put Ohtani in there, then we do Bryce Elder. Then who are the other ones? Eli White, Verdugo, Harris, and Olson. So Olson is right here, and then Michael Harris is right here. So I don't mind that one. I don't like. It's not one that I would have thought of off the top of my head, but you've got your one pitcher in Elder that I think a lot of people will be off of. But again, these are tournament lineups. You're not building single game to play cash. At least I am not anyway. So that's definitely one way you could go about it. If you want to look at a second way, and then just depending. So if you take Ohtani out of the captain spot, you kind of already know that Elder's there, but Dustin May is the most expensive option. So if you build within Dustin May there, we can definitely look. So Dustin May, it then still brings in a couple of relief pitchers, which I don't love that because it's not guaranteed they get in the game. That's the problem. So if we go through here, Dustin May, Kirby Yates is still in there. Bummer is still in there. Bummer pitched on Saturday, had that error. I don't know if he'll even come in. So it's kind of, that's the way the algorithm is kind of looking at. If you get in there, you've got relief pitchers. That's with Dustin May. So that's where then I would probably come in and do like Dylan Lee. Now, I'm not saying Dylan Lee doesn't come in and have a good game. We just don't know. It is not a guarantee. It's not like your backup running back that, will get into the game like once a down or something like that. So that's kind of the only difference when you are building like your lineups here with baseball. So if we do that, apply it, and it might give me an error, and I might have to rebuild the lineups here. I'm not sure. So it's processing. Okay, so it processed. Nope, keep editing. So then I will rebuild. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video again because I just don't want you guys to have to sit here for dead air. Okay, so what I've done is I've gone through and I switched it up a little bit. I ran some things. I went through and I took out basically all the bullpen guys that I just don't want. It could come back to bite me, but that's just kind of where I'm at. So what I've done is I removed the bullpen guys from both the captain spot and utility spot, and now I'm running 5,000 just to kind of show you guys what pops up afterwards. So we're kind of the same thing. You come back and it's got the Bryce Elder thing there, which those really didn't change at all. So it's really liking that lineup. But if you want to get a little bit different, again, once I removed the bullpen guys, I'm very curious if the Ohtani play brings in like Ohtani, like there's a lineup there that Ohtani is that captain spot, and it doesn't have bullpen guys. So that's always a plus. So those are just kind of different lineups you can build. Hopefully that's helpful. If I were to kind of look at this, so we've built lineups there. So you want Ohtani there, but I think a lot of people are going to be on Ohtani there. So maybe we pivot and we go with maybe a Mookie Betts, who's a little bit cheaper, or even a Freddie Freeman. So if you put Mookie in there, you still got decent. As long as Nick Allen does play, make sure he's in there starting. He could be in a good spot there. You got both pitcher, or you got Bryce Elder here, Murphy. Depends on which catcher's going to start. Kind of monitor that when you make your lineups. And then if we kind of go away from that and we look at like, let's do a Freddie Freeman because he's got great numbers here. He's got a great matchup. I love the matchup for him. I think he'll go under-owned as your captain spot. Freeman, Verdugo, Murphy, Eli White, Bryce Elder, you got your pitcher there. Albies, like I don't mind that lineup either. Like these are lineups that I'll like. So there you go. That is the DraftKings side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the video again. I'm going to do all the same things I just did for FanDuel, and then we're going to see what kind of lineups we can build on FanDuel as well. So I'll probably be 15 minutes for me, but it'll be 3 seconds for you. Okay, and then this is where FanDuel is completely different from DraftKings. Pitchers are not a thing. You do not have pitchers here, so then you break it down to who makes a bunch of sense for your MVP or captains, your MVP spot here. So kind of looking at that, you can see that Dustin May and Elder would have been there, but they're gone. So it first off pulls, and I simulated it. I did 5,000 simulations. I changed what I needed to change. You got Ohtani at the top, and you can still have a pretty damn good lineup. I don't know if Kim gets in there, but they did activate him and call him back up, so he could definitely start there. So you got Ohtani and Betts, Conforto, Ozzie Albies, Max Muncy, who struggled, but some good numbers here, and Kim is another one we didn't even talk about. And then so overall, you can see that in 5,000 lineups, the pool of Ohtani being the MVP is 364 of those lineups. So if you want to go through and check it out, it's the most lineups there. So that makes a ton of sense. I think a lot of people are going to be on that. If it doesn't hit, a lot of people are going to be on that, and then they're out of luck. But if we take a look, so let's say that doesn't hit. Let's say for whatever reason Ohtani has a bad game, and we want to go in a different direction. Do we want Teoscar Hernandez? I don't know if I want Teoscar Hernandez, but do I want Freddie Freeman? I would look at Freddie Freeman a little bit here. So if we look at Freddie Freeman, we bring that in there. It still has Ohtani. So you got Freddie Freeman, Ohtani. You got Pages, Max Muncy, and Hassan Kim. Kim. And then it's got Matt Olson as the spot. So it's still thinking and it's building it out that the Dodgers are going to be the team to beat, which, to be honest with you, I think that's probably the case. But we have that, and then you got Ohtani, you got Matt Olson. I don't mind this lineup. So that is a lineup you could look at. Another Freeman one, they changed up with Eli White instead of Kim. And then they put in Verdugo and Will Smith instead of a couple other ones. So that is your look at Freeman there. Now we can look at, it got to get a little bit different. Maybe, so we had Freeman, we had Ohtani in that MVP spot, which makes sense. But if we look at this And you can just see like BVP wise, they really haven't done anything against right-handed pitching. You got Verdugo. Like, what would a Verdugo? And I'm not saying I'm going to go with this one, but I'm always curious. What would a Verdugo captain spot look like? Since he's 11,400 or MVP spot, you're able to put a lot of eggs in your basket there. You got Verdugo, you got Ohtani, you got Ozuna, Riley, Albies, and Nick Allen. Like, that makes sense as well. Verdugo, Ohtani, Ozuna, Riley, Albies, and Eli White. Then you've got Verdugo, Ohtani, Betts. So, I mean, it's kind of, if you can make multiple lineups, obviously if you want to multi-enter, something like SaberSim is a great tool. You will see SaberSim pictures or all the time they're at the top. And let's do one more just to kind of see if we look at who's had the BVP. No one against that. Who against Bryce Elder's had success? We've already used Ohtani. We've already used Freeman. And then against right-handed pitching this year, Freeman batting 400. Pages batting 286. Could be a cheap option. Pages batting 286 against righties, and he's batting 269 overall. All 4 of his 6 home runs have come against righties. Miguel Rojas batting 255 against righties. He's batting 310. Rojas could be sneaky. I'm not saying he will be, but he could be. Second base, shortstop, and third base eligible. You look at game logs, like had the home run there against Miami, then not much. So I probably wouldn't go that far down. But if you go with, like, say, Marcell Ozuna, we haven't talked about Ozuna as an MVP spot. So you got Ozuna, Betts, Riley. So this goes a full Brave stack. Nick Allen, Ozzy Albies, Verdugo, Riley, Betts, and Ozuna. You got Ozuna and Ohtani, Riley, Verdugo, Eli White, Nick Allen. I'd kind of like that. You got 2 leadoff batters, a second and a third, and then you got 8 and 9, which sometimes comes along. You got Will Smith in there, depending, obviously, which catcher is going to be starting on Sunday Night Baseball. You've got different ways to go about it. And then I'm just curious, and I'm not saying it's going to work out because it rarely ever does, but if we look at Ozzy Albies, hasn't had success against him against righties this year, batting 245 with 5 bombs. All of his home runs have come against righties this year. Let's check out Ozzy Albies as your MVP spot. We'll definitely see. Ohtani's there, Riley's there, Matt Olson, Alex Verdugo, and Michael Harris. I don't mind that one either. And then you change it up. Other side, you got Albies, Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Max Muncy, and Kim as well if you want to have both of those. So, again, if you play the showdown, there's no way you play a single lineup. I don't care who you are. I would never put a single bullet in a Sunday Night Baseball game. So there you have it. That is the breakdown of how we would look at Sunday Night Baseball. BVP, historical, batter splits, all of that. If you want to check out the other things that we have for this, you can look at player props. So we look at the player props here. You can go with Michael Harris hits. You can see, and this is what I love, how you break it down. So you look at this and you see that his last 10 games, he has five of his last 10 games, he's got 1+ hit. He's 3 straight games without a hit. This could be the change of that. So this is just kind of different ones. Mookie Betts hits. You could see his last 6 games in a row, he's gotten at least 1 hit. His last 4 straight games, he's gotten 2 hits. So just different ways. You can go over-under bases, home runs. So if you have a feeling someone might hit a home run, like Freddie Freeman, you can see he's plus 500 on Fanduel. That's just what you have there. So if I were to make a single game, like a single game parlay here, this is what I love. It'll show you your ticket as well. So whether or not you play on Fanduel and DraftKings, it shows you that too. So let's, for instance, go with, I'm going to go a single game parlay here. I'm going to go with Mookie Betts. I want Mookie Betts 2+ bases. So I'm going to find that. Let me pause the video because I don't know how long it'll take me. I'm going to pause the video. Or their bases right here. Mookie Betts. There he is. No, not stolen bases. Bases. Mookie Betts. Over 0.5 in 6 straight games. He's gotten at least 2+ there. So whether or not you play on FanDuel or DraftKings, it really doesn't matter. So let's just put him at plus, let's say 2+ bases for Mookie Betts. I think Freddie Freeman, I'm going to go 2+ bases as well. Michael Harris, I'm going to go 2+ bases as well there. Then if I were to do like just hits in general, we're looking at hits. I would look at Matt Olson for 1+ hit. I would look at Andy Pajes for 1+ hit. Alex Verdugo for 1+ hit. So what I like, that would be a 6-game or a 6-pick parlay, same game parlay. You can add it. So you can add, depending on which book you have, you can add it on DraftKings, which is the book that I use. So I would add to my bet slip. It would take me out to DraftKings, which, give me a second because it's going to ask me to log in. So it'll take you out and it will put it in your bet slip. You can do, some of the picks can't be parlayed for whatever reason because they might not be on. So some are on Fanduel. Some are on, and it just depends on, sometimes you get that with how early in the day is. So maybe you kind of make this and then you take it to your slip a little bit later on when the game gets closer. I've seen that. For whatever reason, it's just FanDuel Sportsbook and DraftKings Sportsbooks. They're not cohesive in the same kind of bets you can do, which is kind of annoying, but that's books in general. So that's kind of what I would do. Those are the bets I would look at on FanDuel or DraftKings, whichever book you're on. Those are the lineups that I would build on both FanDuel and DraftKings. It's everything and in between. So if you guys found this video helpful, let me know down below. If you use it, let me know. If you win some money, let me know as well. If you haven't checked out everything else we have on the website or on our YouTube page here, check it out. The longer you guys watch these videos, the better the algorithm has for us. You can check out our shorts, our reels, YouTube shorts. They're kind of ridiculous, but they're out there as well. Not usually DFS related, but just trying to have some fun, trying to get out there in the YouTube shorts or Instagram reels kind of world as well. So hopefully this helps you with your Sunday Night Baseball. If you liked it, let me know down below, and we will do this hopefully for every Sunday Night Baseball game. So good luck, and as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.